You've probably seen the videos on Facebook or other places on the internet that feature abandoned places. Sometimes it shows a large institution that's been abandoned for many decades, or maybe a large palatial mansion that has thousands of square feet, and it was built at a great expense and it was lived in for many years, but now this great grand house or facility, it's abandoned and it's just falling down, and it's even dangerous in its decay and the state that it's in right now. The Bible addresses this somewhat in the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 10. In fact, Solomon writes, beginning in verse 18, through laziness the roof sinks in, and through sloth or indolence the house leaks. And then the next verse almost doesn't seem to fit, because he says, bread or a feast is made for laughter, and wine gladdens life, and money answers everything. You kind of have to look at this in its grand context, because the previous verses had talked about the folly of an immature leader of a nation, the folly of an immature leader when he doesn't do what he's supposed to do and he doesn't have people around him doing what they're supposed to do, and how the nation collapses. And some have said maybe this allusion here to a house falling in is an allusion or an illustration of this same thing about a lazy, immature king, and that everything's collapsing around him. That very well may be the case. And it may be the case also that this idea of feasting and wine and money are excuses used by these people to say, well, we're just going to ignore the problem that's going on, and we're just going to continue to feast and to party, and every now and then we'll throw some money at something. Well, we can make personal application of this in our own lives to understand that when we are immature, when we are lazy, when we don't do the things that need to be done, and we don't take care of things the way that they need to be taken care of, then we have no excuse to go out and feast and party and then just every now and then maybe think, well, we'll throw a little money at something and it will solve it. You see, really, everything's going to collapse eventually. We can ignore reality, but that doesn't mean reality is going to ignore us. And everything's going to fall down. And he says in this text that we need to be aware of that in order to avoid that. And we need to live as mature people who will apply ourselves to the responsibilities and the tasks at hand, and that we'll carry through with them. Really, the key word here is responsibility. And we need to be responsible people.